It's Gaz, and welcome back to the Warframe video. So we got another episode this week in Warframe where we go the entire weekly reset. All the things you can expect as a Warframe player this week. We have a reset video and a news video at the same time because we have some things ending this week you might be interested in. Before we get into it though, make sure you're subbed to this channel. We do daily Warframe video uploads on this channel. Be covering Dante Unbound a ton when it actually comes out, and I'll have a new Saren build video tomorrow on this channel, so make sure you're subbed. You can see all the videos go up. Appreciate all support on the recent videos, guys. All right, start with the first weekly reset item. We got Teshin over here, and let's see what he brought. So he's got 3 Forma for 75 skill lessons. So no build time required on these, obviously, because they are fully built. But if you want to drop your skill lessons on this, be my guest. It's more useful than some of the other things he brings, at least. So yeah, that's your first weekly reset item. Now, as far as this week in Warframe, guys, there are a few things ending. One of those is going to be the lunar renewal bundles or whatever, and Star Days. So Star Days and the lunar renewal bundles will be gone this week. Not like Star Days really has a ton going on, but that is one of the things you should keep in mind. Additionally, don't forget that this is not really RNG dependent, but go to your to Iron Wake to get some ribbons and Kuva from Paula Dean, and also go to Archimedean Yanta on the Zeramon if you have that unlocked already to get some 35,000 Kuva from Archimedean Yanta as well. That's going to be giving you about 70,000 Kuva per week if you do turn your ribbon slivers and things like that. So, flying over to the Dorma Zone to see what the Deviri wares are, I'd also like to remind you that this is technically the last week of February, and DE said that Dante Unbound would be in March. So we are technically, later in the week, we are technically on Dante Unbound update watch. So, yeah, they didn't give us an actual release window besides it's in March. So I guess it will be early March, hopefully. But if it's late March, I mean, I'm sure we'll know. There will be a dev stream in late March as well. All right, so we got Forma and Kuva this week for the wares over here. So let's just go over what we have. So for this RNG vendor over here, we got a primary Archon adapter for 25 Pathos. That's a lot of Pathos. Forma blueprint for 10 Pathos, so an entire Aura Worm fight for that. 5,000 Kuva for 10 Pathos. 1 Arc, oh, that's actually daily. I was about to say power ramp for 10 Pathos. 5,000 Kuva for 10 Pathos, and another Forma blueprint for 10 Pathos. Really boring here. We got 2 Forma blueprints and 2 Kuva drops. Also, Arcane Power Ramp is just not very good, I've found. So that's what your Deviri rotating stuff is. Let's go ahead and look at the Archon Hunt and things like that. Now, another big thing I want to tell you, so since I mentioned Dante Unbound, I thought I'd just transition into this. Yeah, guys, you know how like I talk about call missions and all these in these videos? It might be time to stop doing call missions, like straight up. Because the reason for that is the Chipper Archon Shard will no longer be at Chipper. It's going to be moved to the new Sanctum Atomica for rep once per week. But I'll go ahead and show you that once we get over there. So, starting off with our Deviri normal path stuff, we've got Garuda, Baruch, and Hildryn. I feel like we've had the same rotation before. So we got all 3 of the Fortuna frames right here. Keep in mind that, you know, once this exact rotation has been here before, and I was reminded that to build Hildryn, you actually need the blue toroids that come from the Exploiter Orb. So you can't just really cheat your way past it. It's like, oh, I'll never do the Exploiter Orb ever. No, you technically have to do the Exploiter Orb to get the blue toroids to build Hildryn. But yeah, she's still probably the best choice this week because her helmet is really good. Pillage. And as far as the other characters, these all come from Fortuna, like I said. But Baruch, his helmet is going to be Lull, and that makes it AoE Sleep, and then Garuda's helmet is Blood Altar, basically spiking enemies and making them heal you over time. I'd say out of all 3 of these choices, I'd probably go for Hildryn here. It will potentially save you some time from farming the Exploiter Orb, and the other characters are just really easy to get anyway, compared to Hildryn. So keep in mind that you will need some blue toroids, Lazulite. You need 6 Lazulite toroids to build her. I'd say go for her, but the other ones are also like comparably, you know, they're all on Fortuna basically, so keep in mind, you want to farm her if you do get that, though. Moving on to the Steel Path for our Incarnons, we got a pretty good week this week. And spoiler for my Saren video tomorrow, I will be using the Lex Prime Incarnon in that video with some other really powerful weapons. But just a reminder, before we go over what all these do, reminder, if you have rank 9 Opportunity Intrinsic, you can choose to get Kuva and some ribbons instead of these Incarnons if you want to. Still rank up, but get different rewards. Alright, so starting with the Lex Prime Incarnon, this thing becomes a massive Arcaplasma, or like plasma shot that will cover an entire hallway in a really, really high damage radiation wave that will punch through every enemy too. So, spoiler, like I said, minor spoilers for the video tomorrow. This thing's really, really good against Acolytes. And it's very good for one-shotting Acolytes on the Steel Path. With some of these high-tier Incarnons, we got Critical Parallel giving crit chance and crit damage. This thing hits really hard, and also some of these things, if you're like, shield gating, on shield break, increased damage by 80 for 8 seconds. Like, if your shield's breaking, you're getting double damage quite often. So, really nice there. It's a powerful pistol, but the problem is, this thing is really slow. It's got really low fire rate. Before you go into Incarnon form, it is single target, but that single target shot is really, really powerful. So I'd recommend it, but there's also some other good stuff this week, too. Magistar Incarnon, the normal Magistar, with this Incarnon and with the arcane called Magus Aggress, is the strongest stat stick damage numbers-wise, like as far as the bigger number you can get in the game for Korra, and probably some other frames, too. Another one of the weapons we have this week, Ceramic Dagger, is a better quality of life and convenience stat stick. But yeah, if you want the overall highest crit damage numbers for your Korra Whipclaw stat stick Exalted, or Pseudo Exalted, Magistar Normal, get the Incarnon, and get the Magus Aggress Arcane. Some of the upgrades out here are quite nice for Korra, like Critical Parallel, increasing crit chance and crit damage that does apply to her Whipclaw. And that's going to be really, really good for killing enemies like in one hit, no problem at all. So get a ribbon for it, get a Magus Aggress Arcane, and then get the Incarnon and the normal Magistar, and you're good to go. If you want to use the Sancti Magistar as a normal weapon, like a support healer hammer weapon, that's also an option too, but just keep in mind that it has lower Riven stats on the Sancti Magistar, and it also has lower Incarnon upgrades if you're trying to use the Sancti Magistar as a stat stick. So I'd recommend this one if you know what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing, just go for probably a more useful one than this. It's still a pretty decent hammer at the end of the day. The special attack, what does it even do? It gives you increased heavy attack wind-up speed in initial combo. That doesn't matter at all. I didn't even know it did that until just now. That's good to know. Moving on to the Boltor Incarnon. This thing is pretty nice. It's like a nail gun, and the Telos Boltor and the Boltor Prime are both good options. The Telos Boltor used to have a damage glitch on it. The Boltor Prime is definitely better now that we've gotten that damage glitch gone through, but the Telos Boltor is still really good. It has higher crit stats than the Boltor Prime, just a lot less other stats than that. The Incarnon form of this thing becomes a slash shotgun, and it is pretty nice. I have used it for high-level missions a few times, but it's not like my go-to. It's just a good one. We got, you want crit chance, status chance, or hybrid on the Incarnon tier, and this thing, like I said, it becomes very slash-weighted, so that increased status chance is very nice for slash procs. So, a good weapon, but not like the best weapon in the game, just a good weapon. The Bronco Incarnon, definitely an underrated one. This thing can one-shot level 10,000 enemies, and it actually has a bunch of status chance that you can get with the mod Dizzying Rounds. But that's not a augment that's currently available anymore, so maybe you won't have that. What this will do is it will ricochet between enemies in the Incarnon form, and that Dizzying Rounds mod sets enemies up for finishers, so you're going to be doing AoE finishers with this thing. If you don't want to do that, you can still use Dizzying Rounds, because it increases your status chance a ton, and you can use this for level 10,000, like hemorrhage, one-shot, slash proc builds. Pretty good, but really not the best Incarnon in the game at all. I'd probably say go for Lex over this one. And then the final Incarnon, the Ceramic Dagger Incarnon, a very popular Incarnon for sure. One of the reasons for that is going to be Gun and Blade right here. On primary kill, it also works on secondary kill, basically on gun kill. Plus one initial combo stacks up 100 times. That means if you get 100 gun kills, you get 100 built-in combo, and you never lose it. So if you, if you die, technically you lose it. Or if the mission ends, the next mission you won't have that 100 initial combo. But yeah, stacking that with the other initial combo, Adept Reflexes, and the mod Corrupt Charge, and what's the other one called? Covert Lethality, you'll get tons and tons of combo built on this thing. You can even get initial combo Riven, you will have 12x all the time. I think my build is that, or it's 11x all the time, or something like that. So really good, a nice stat stick for Korra, or for other frames too, because we got crit chance increase, status chance increase, things like that. So very nice. As far as your number one, number two recommendations this week, it really depends on who you are as a player. If you want just an all-round good one, Lex pretty good for killing an entire hallway of enemies and killing acolytes. Boltor is a nice gun for just, being a full auto slash steel path viable primary. But if you were to ask me after I've had all the Incarnons for a while, if I knew everything I know now and I only wanted to pick the stuff that I use the most, I would probably go with the Magistar Normal for the stat stick for Korra, because I love to play Korra. And the other one, my new Saren loadout is going to have the Lex Prime, so I'd probably say the Lex Prime. But if, let's say you don't want to use Magus Aggress, let's say you don't care about Korra, or you care about other characters more. Ceramic Dagger is probably more versatile, because it's not entirely reliant on crit like the Magistar is. So yeah, really up to you guys. I'd say go for one of these two stat sticks, either the Ceramic Dagger or the Magistar, and then go for a gun. Either the Lex Prime for killing acolytes really easily, the Boltor for just a good workhorse slash weapon for the steel path, or the Bronco for setting enemies up finishers if you have that Nightwave augment for a couple seasons ago. So yeah, good luck on that one, guys. I'd say probably go for these two if you're me, but you're not me, so it's up to you. Alright, let's move on to the Archon Hunt. And like I said earlier, guys, call missions and all that will be less important going forward, but the Archon Hunt will still have a guaranteed Archon shard every week. So we got the red Archon shard dropping the Wolf Archon, and the mission types are Spy, Disruption, and the Final Boss Showdown. So good luck getting that. These will come purple shards or orange shards once you combine them if you get the Tau version. Well, I guess you could technically combine the non-Tau version too. And speaking of combining shards, make sure you're doing all these shard drops because the Archon Shard Fusion system is being added in Dante Unbound, and Rebecca has decided to change it from 4 shards to 3 shards. So 3 normal shards will become a Tau shard after this change, with a minimal Stella cost. So, additionally, this guy over here, he's not going to have any shard. This guy will never have a shard ever again. So Chipper's got an Amber shard right now, but he will never have one again after the Dante Unbound update in March. That being said, it's going to be up to you. Do you want to still keep doing call missions? Because these Archon mod, people buy these for plat. You know, like, they're decently good for trading. But yeah, this was the reason a lot of people were doing these Archon hunts, or sorry, these call missions, and this is being removed in March. So, I guess rest in peace. I'm not going to miss it really that much. I don't like doing these missions. I just do them for the extra shard and just weekly reset stuff. So, but yeah, you get Amber shard at Chipper this week. Go ahead and pick it up so you can fuse it into a Tau shard in a couple weeks. For the call mission, we have Junk Run. If you never missed a call mission ever, which is weird if you did, honestly, you should get that checked out. We got Deathless, complete it without dying or becoming veiled. Find the mini boss Sprague and defeat them. Rescue 5 captured Ostrons, not captured Ostrons. Scavenge the damaged Thumper. Smash the Pazul Axum. I always walk past these, by the way. And unlock caches with the passcodes. So this, just a reminder, if you are doing this challenge, these passcodes will only show up in this mission on a security camera. So don't worry about looking for them unless you're on a security camera. Look for like a red hand on the wall or just red hand on the wall. That's what you're looking for. And there's also, you can easily walk past the cache of the opening it. The cache is right by the extraction. Make sure you take your time to open that up, guys. But yeah, these are going to become a lot less important going forward unless you want a couple extra 100 plat per week, I guess. Moving on to the NIGHTWAVE, we don't know when this is going to end. So yeah, NIGHTWAVE is back and don't know what's going to end. They give us at least 2 weeks notice before it goes away. Heads up. First challenge, Polarized Weapon, Companion Orb, Warframe, not in the Simulacrum. So easy rep there. Venus Bounty Hunter, complete 3 different Orb Valis bounties. The Profit Taker does count for that. So if you want to do one of your bounties as that, and maybe one of your bounties as like Stage 2 Profit Taker, that one's pretty quick too. So easy one there. Complete 3 waves of Mirror Defense as an Elite Weekly. Okay, hopefully that works on the new Kavia one, the one I like more than Tiana Pass. But yeah, it could be normal path, it's not going to be steel path, it's pretty funny. Destroy 3 Necromech Vault Guardians. That's going to be for the Isolation Vaults. So in a Tier 3 Isolation Vault, there's 3 Necromechs that spawn. So basically just do 1 Tier 3 Isolation Vault to get this done. And then you got your permanent weeklies here. Kill 30 Eximus, complete 15 missions, and kill 500 enemies. Pretty straightforward. We got our stock store here, or it's not stock, it's a Nora Cred store here, Cred offerings. We got our Evergreen stuff at the top. We got our helmets. We got a Zaku helmet, that's pretty good. Got a Gyre helmet, and yeah, if you see anything that you like here, feel free to pick it up. Citrine helmet, a Naros helmet, my favorite Naros helmet. Don't forget he's getting reworked. So if you want your sand cats to have a cool sand Naros master, then there you go. There's a helmet for you. We got efficient. Okay, so we got some mods here I do definitely want to talk about. So we got Infested Impotence, Holster Amp, Bursting Mass, Efficient Beams, and Loot Detector. Okay, guys, if you don't have Loot Detector, get it, okay? It's really good for farming. It's really good for farming, like, medallions. It's really good for farming Ayatan sculptures. It's really just good in general. Easy to know where the endo is on the map and all that. You need this this aura. It's a lot more important than you might think. This does stack between players, too, so if you have multiple people using this, you will see too much loot. You'll see the loot three rooms over, so make sure you get this one. Additionally, if you ever want to use the weapon, the Convetrix, you need this mod, Efficient Beams. Only will consume ammo from the Convetrix when it deals damage, and it gives it 150% increased status chance. This thing chews through ammo pretty quick if you don't have this mod, so it's a must-have mod if you plan on using the Convetrix weapon. Bursting Mass with Mulas Quanta. I don't really use this very much, but it probably makes the alt fire a little bit better. It makes the AoE on the alt fire larger. You got Holster Amp, giving increased damage when swapping weapons. This is pretty nice, and since Eclipse is getting nerfed, things like this might become more useful than before, so try it out if you want to. It's not a must-have, but I do use this quite often. I think Loot Detector is definitely more of a must-have. For your Mastery Fodder, you got Dark Sword Blueprint, Jaw Sword Blueprint, and the Pangolin Sword Blueprint. For Conclave Augment Lines, we got Tetra, Focused Acceleration, Brainstorm Grakata giving infinite ammo, Purging Slash for Excal, and Skull Shots of the Viper giving infinite ammo. So yeah, that's going to be your Nightwave and things like that. So yeah, guys, I'm guessing most of you are going to stop doing call missions now, if you even were bothering to do them. I'm not entirely sure if I want to stop. I don't like doing call missions. I felt obligated to, and I think that's why DE is actually changing them, because people felt obligated to do them. So yeah, they're moving that shard from Chipper to the Kavia. I'm guessing it'll be for like Echo Vokas or something, but they said it'll be for rep, so yeah, it might be Echo Vokas, but that's going to be a nice change for most people, and we're going to have a ton of Tau Shards going for it. Honestly, they need to make a new loot type, because Tau Shards are not going to be as exciting anymore, because we're going to have so many of them. But regardless, we're at the Invigorations and helmet at the back of my ship right now. Let's see what we got. Reminder, these are RNG per player per week, and additionally, those new Netrocell things, they're going to have, like, you know, requirements of what frame you can run. Those will probably be RNG per player per week as well. So we'll go over that when it arrives, but for right now, let's go over what we have. If you want to unlock this stuff, you can buy it in the market or grind it out on Deimos. All right, we got melee crit chance and heal rate for Atlas. Melee crit chance, huh? I think he has like 5% base crit chance, but that could be, I mean, it's better than nothing for him, so great stuff there. Maybe throw on Wrathful Advance for even more crit chance. I don't know. I don't really play Atlas that often, but that does sound pretty decent on him. I'd probably prefer melee damage, though. Okay, we got Loki increased secondary crit chance and increased sprint speed. Again, these are two frames I don't really play. It sounds better than nothing, though. I mean, sprint speed on Loki, he's a pretty fast character. He has high base sprint speed from what I remember. So that's good. If I was to play Loki, I would definitely use that one. And the next one for my favorite frame, Garuda, we have secondary damage and 1,000 extra armor. I'll probably use this for Netrocells today, make it where I'm quite tanky and my Cycron will kill enemies quite nicely. But yeah, these are not the best Invigorations this week. Good thing there's no like double credit weekend or something like that coming up. There should be a double affinity event coming up soon-ish, but I don't think they've actually announced when that date is. So either way, guys, hope you found this video fun and helpful. Potentially don't do call missions ever again, starting the Dante Unbound update. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Appreciate the support and see you on stream very soon. Peace.